Happy Friday. We're back at the drawing board here at B in the Game. My name is Miss B. We just finished up some kickball. We had a great week of kickball. I'm super excited. Even my kindergartners, the modified version that I showed you on my last video, they did fantastic. We actually did end up splitting into teams and we played for points. Basically, we made it a race. If the kicker could run to first base before the fielder got me the ball back, then the kicker scored a point. If they didn't get to first base before I got the ball, then they were out. So we played for points. I had a couple kindergartners cry, but it actually opened up a really good discussion with them, and the teacher even joined us, and we talked about how, you know, in all games there is a winner and there is a loser, and loser is not a bad word. It's a term to describe a person who didn't win or a team who didn't win. Not that we should go around calling people losers, but I hate the fact that, you know, the word loser or whatever has become a bad word per se. It's not a bad word. It's a perfect word to teach your kids about life, okay? You are not always going to win, and that's the conversation we had. So if you didn't see my kickball video, please check it out, and you can see the setup for 1st through 5th and then the setup for pre-K and kindergarten that I did. And like I said, it went fantastic. The classes that were ready for it, we turned it into a competition, and we had a great time. Now, moving on for next week. Next week, I decided that we are going to move on to a great game called Gaga Ball. Gaga Ball is easily becoming one of the most popular games in the United States. And the first time you hear about Gaga Ball, you're probably going to think the same thing that I did. It sounds like a really silly, ridiculous game, and you're like, I don't even know how the kids are going to enjoy that. It doesn't, no. That's how I felt, but the first day I played it, my kids went berserk over it, and I've been playing it as one of my go-to games ever since. It's really cool. The one thing that I do love about Gaga Ball is the fact that kids are not out for good. You know, we hear about these games where kids get out and then they're not allowed to play the rest of the time, or they have to wait till the second round. In this game, you are still in the game, but you can't win the game. And that's what I tell my kids. You are still in it. You are still playing. You're still trying to get other people out. You just can't be the winner of the game for that round. And I think that's what is really enjoyable for the kids. I do have a modified version of the game called Slime Ball that I'm going to be playing with my pre-K and my kindergarten classes. I may also play this with my first graders. You really have to gauge. If you feel like your older kids can handle Gaga Ball, then definitely play it with them. If you feel, however, it's going to cause a lot of friction between the kids, because like I said, some kids, they're still in the game, but they do have that issue with, not winning, whatever. If I don't feel like having a headache, then I will play Slime Ball with some of my older kids just to kind of avoid that crying and the tears for that day. So, here it is, Gaga Ball and the modified version called Slime Ball that I'm going to play with my younger kids. So here's my setup for Gaga Ball that I use in the gym when I don't have access to a Gaga pit or any lines to use for boundaries. What I do is I take different color spots and I make each side of the square or rectangle a different color. This is so when a child gets out in the game, I can send them to a side or a color so that they can cover that area. As more children get out, all sides are pretty much covered and we can get the game going a lot faster. Aside from spots or markers for boundaries, you need a ball. I like to use a big foam ball. I'll throw it in, and as it bounces, we say Gaga Ball. Any child can run up and try to hit the ball into another child's legs. If a child gets hit in the legs, knees or below, that child is out and becomes an outside player. Outside players can still hit the ball in to try and get other players out. Once all players are out, the one player remaining is the winner. Here are some tips and tricks that I've learned over the years playing this game with my kids. I hope these are helpful for you. So here's my modified version of Gaga that I'm going to be playing with my preschool and kindergarten classes called Slime Ball. For Slime Ball, I'm going to be the slime monster, and I'm going to have one big green slimy foam ball. I might even ask one or two students to be slime monsters with me. The object of the game will be to hit the ball, just like in Gaga, and hit the other player's knees and below. If you get hit knees and below with the slime ball, you are stuck in the slime for 5 seconds, and you're not allowed to move until you've counted to 5. With my youngest students, I'll count with them to 5, and with my oldest students, I might even make them count in Spanish. Here are some tips and tricks to make sure that this game is ultimately a lot of fun for your preschool and kindergarten students. Thank you for joining us here at Be in the Game. Be sure to subscribe and check back weekly for new games and activities.